guys, and welcome to another game of League of Legends. Right now, we are a top lane terror, also known as the Taric. So, a quick thing I want to point out, of course, before we get into this fully. If you look at their team, minus like the Tristana and Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is mostly not going to be doing too much AP, and Tristana does some AP regardless of whether she builds AD or AP. She has some scaling off that. But for the most part, Kha'Zix, Yasuo, Irelia, they're all AD. So this is a Gani game where if you look at your opponents, you know you have to build armor. So I'm going to build armor in this game. So on our team we have an ADC Twitch, a mid Malzahar, jungle Wukong, support Soraka, sorry, I forgot her name, and then we have top Taric. On their team they have ADC Tristana, support Blitzcrank, top Irelia. She's pretty hard to fight, so I hope I'll be okay.
Brilliantly.
And then we have, of course, mid Yasuo and jungle Kha'Zix. I think this guy should do pretty fine because he doesn't have like any like real projectiles, which Yasuo blocks all projectiles. This guy has a targeted spell, a spell that comes from both sides that can be a projectile, but is easily enough to go around the barrier if you know how. And he also goes ahead and has that like pool at the bottom, like a portal to the other dimension. So all in all, it should be pretty fine for him to go ahead and go against Yasuo. Irelia is someone who can get off a lot of poke. One more, and then I'm gonna walk away. Try to give him as best at least I can. NP, good luck. Cause we're gonna need a lot of help from some point in the games. Sorry guys, I feel like I'm really like shaking, and that might just be because I am probably shaking. So let's get off some auto attacks. Be a little aggressive here. Yeah, she does a lot of damage, sadly. And while we do, like, Taric is a pretty good top laner. He might struggle against someone who's pretty aggressive, such as this person here. And she's already a level above us. So hopefully, with this stun now, we can go ahead, now that she's in our minions, have them attack her. That's the kind of thing, like, when you get against someone like Irelia, let's see, she has, whatever, she doesn't have an ignite, so it'd probably be best to not, we can probably, like, trade with her pretty easy, and without, like, major fear of death, I guess you'd say. Because it's not like she's just gonna pull out the... Okay. So of course I'm gonna have to, whatever, go ahead and look out. But a quick thing, since Kha'Zix came through this direction, I wanna make sure he didn't ward it. That's good. So now that it isn't, I know that it isn't warded, it should be a little bit easier, because if I get a ward when I get back, it should be a little harder. Okay, he's going mid lane. I probably should have made like maybe a little warning.
From coals to diamonds.
Okay, I'm not gonna be able to like really farm too well into tower. Let's say she's gone for the moment. She's probably just moved back on. Yep. Now let's go. We want to get these guys off our turret first, maybe before we start pushing. Okay, so. She's not, I don't know, is she ahead of us? Yep, she's ahead of us in farm, because she might have gone to lane earlier, because we gave a pretty decent lead. But I'm going to go for this, because this is going to give me armor. Let's see, armor by 15, yep. So having this open will just give me extra armor to deal with Irelia's poke. And although we traded good in the beginning, I guess with Kha'Zix coming down, we are in a bit of a disadvantage now. So we're gonna have to try to farm without really getting our buns kicked.
Ruby for vigor.
Okay, I don't know if she got the candy minion, but hopefully she lets the wave push a bit. I want to let the wave push, but I don't know if that's gonna be on Aurelia's his to-do list. But I have to get that. Okay, she didn't really do anything. That's good. Okay, now that she's level 5, I have to be a little bit more
Gems
careful.
hold their edge.
Okay, I missed that, so I have to be a little... still pretty careful. I can now heal up. I have some pretty good self-healing and sustain in lane, so I really shouldn't be super, like, defenseless. But I probably shouldn't, like, underestimate her either. Okay, so right now, yeah, minion blocked, I guess you could say. I was.
Sapphire for divinity.
Okay, I was afraid she was going to attack me, but she's getting harassed down by the turret, I guess you could say. And she's not really too focused on poking me, I guess. It doesn't seem. Because she's like more focused on farming, which I guess if she beats me in farm, that's going to be pretty bad for me.
I will root for you.
In most generalized situation. And now that I have that, I'm gonna just say she left and she hasn't come back yet.
Functional and stylish.
Okay, so she doesn't have her ult, so I'm gonna have to really get out now.
Brilliant.
And I should keep walking because Kha'Zix is definitely one to known, especially now that, well, he's pretty low, so I don't really have to really fear his ult. But if Kha'Zix would use his ult, he could go and pretty easily assassinate me.
For vigor.
But now I'm just gonna go back here, and rather than, let's see, I need armor. That's kind of like what I need. And this one should be plenty strong. Get that. Then, because she can deal decent amounts of damage to it, you want to be able to get back as soon as possible.
With clarity.
Okay, so I got those, but she's still pretty ahead of us. But if you guys see here, I get
Opal
bonus
for
movement speed
harmony.
around my turret, so I should be able to make use of that since I would be under the turret, and I'm a melee kind of person. I'm definitely going to have to move around a bit more to get all of the CS, I guess you'd say. Okay, I need to just dodge this out pretty well. And I have...
You shall be crushed.
Okay, so I missed a few of that. Let me just say a
Magic has ruined.
MIA, I guess. They have left. And what's this? My next auto attack does bonus damage, so I guess that makes me a bit stronger. So, well, I'm not insanely well grade off at farming at this point because I've been struggling with the Irelia, I guess you'd say. I'd say she's missing again. Now that we have the empowered auto attack, we want to use it
From
carefully.
coals to diamonds.
And she didn't really seem too interested in us. That's good. And I think Kha'Zix might be coming up, so let's, since we're not going to be able to farm too well, let's just stay vigilant. Doesn't seem like he's really coming at this point. I guess it's because I disappeared off the map. Our team is 2-0. So mid lane, our Malzahar is doing pretty well.
With clarity.
So I'm saying right now we just have to focus really on surviving, I guess you'd say. And I can pretty do well in this lane if I just survive. There's a saying that you've got to be the cockroach. Huh? They're doing a bit of damage to my their cannon, to the enemy cannon, but I want to hope to have it push a bit. Because if it can get to here on my lane, I guess you can say that would be good for me to be able to get it.
I will root for you.
Okay, so I had some trouble here. And And I got that out of the way. I don't think she used her teleport, so teleporting back, at least for me, won't be too excellent an idea at this point. I mean, going back, because if she leaves, because if I leave, that gives her a good chance for her to leave, to be completely honest.
Ruby for vigor.
And if I give her the, like, chance to, like, leave. Okay, so I'm in a pretty bad spot here. I can definitely heal. And instead of pounding at my stun, since that's going to be useful later but not in lane, I need to pretty much be able to keep up my health and my armor, I guess you could say.
Opal for harmony.
Keep up my health, I guess you could say, just in general. Now that I have a bonus auto attack, I can totally get this. And cool, I have boosted damage
With
thanks
clarity.
to the dragon. Ugh. But I still don't attack fast enough. I'm close enough to still get my speed boost, I guess you could say. Now I'm far enough to not
Emerald
get it.
for insight.
But just like staying here, that speed boost that I get is pretty just helpful. And you see, I really I don't have enough pressure to keep her in lane, which
Functional
isn't
and
good because
stylish.
I need to. It would be. She can then go and help her on her team, but it's just a little bit better for me, I guess, in the end, to be able to get a break
You
from having
face
to
unblemished
keep
power.
cautious, I guess you could say. Okay, so now Soraka healed, so that must mean there might be a little bit of trouble.
Sapphire
And look at that
for
damage I do.
divinity.
I'm just gonna stun her up for no reason. Just to see how much damage that actually does. And I'm gonna go power up my heal. So right now I have a great deal of armor.
Emerald
And I'm
for
gaining up
insight.
speed. And my teleport's back. But I don't think we'll need it. This can go into 2 items, which I plan on getting that maybe later on. But for now, I definitely want to... I don't want to go for this right now, to be honest, because I need to be able to move... Although I want to be able to move around and get more armor, I need the tenacity, and I don't even want to get that yet. Even though I can get it, because I need some more wards, because I haven't been able to keep up vision.
Sapphire for divinity.
And yep, I'm gonna teleport. Actually, I don't want too much damage to be done on my turret, I guess you could say. And you see, this gives me, I think, bonus, like,
Humans
everything.
hold their edge.
Okay, so hopefully I can farm pretty well.
Brilliant.
And I need to just say that Aurelia is gone, because that is something my team might want to know, of course. Because if any of them get ganked, it'll be my fault if I don't keep them informed. So,
You shall
although
be
top lane is
crushed.
considered greatly to be an island, which is true in a lot of aspects, of course, but you also want to be able to, like,
Ruby for vigor.
get a good key on, like, let your, because when it's like a little bit just a farm like this, it's not exactly too exciting. Some people like Aurelia here seems to be getting bored and wanting to leave and move on, so she's moving in and out. Let's see, what items does she even have? If I just go ahead and do that. Like, we're going ahead and we have to pull this flash. Okay.
With clarity.
Dang it, I really wish I had that second earlier used my stun in order to go ahead and get that down. Seems like Malza had no mana for ulti, but it's fine. We pushed him off.
Sapphire
We
for divinity.
are doing decently and well in lane.
An ally has been
Okay, how does she have less? Like, a stun would mean that she had to have less, whatever, like, percentage of health. But I'm like less than 50 and she's more than 50, so I don't know if I just did
an enemy
a
has
certain
been
amount of damage
slain.
in time. Okay, I need to run. Ah, yeah, that was bad. I should have probably backed off. Like, if I can get rid of a stun sooner, that should definitely help. Get this. And let's see, focus on the next item I want to get, which should be the Sunfire Cape. Just because that will be, in general, much more helpful to me. So let's see if we can't just get that. We'll say that she's, sorry, C. No, I pressed C by mistake. But I should be able to get to lane fairly fast because I have my full boots, and not to mention when I'm near towers, I'll be able to get my passive mood speed bonus. Irelia is somewhat of a difficult champion to deal with, but I should be able to, as long as she doesn't get like steamroll me. She's getting a lot of farm, which is going to make her a dangerous person, I guess you'd say. Okay. Come on, let me get that. I'm not gonna get that just because she got me a kill last time, and I'm gonna just say TY is. Oh no. No. Okay, he had that all by himself, I guess. Okay. So I'll just say good job. So our Wukong and Malzahar should be very strong at this point of the game, so I don't think we have to worry too much about them. So us ourselves need to focus on getting some gold, just because we're gonna definitely need some like ability to tank. Because as Taric, we decided to go fairly tankish, and
I will root for you.
once we get the Ombreaker, to be honest, we'll become so much better at our job, just because we'll be able to.
From coals to diamonds.
Okay, I want to move back a little bit because even though our minions coming in, they're getting like. They're staying back a little bit, I guess you could say, because they're attacking the minions.
Functional and stylish.
Okay. So now we got some more farm down. We caught up a bit, though not quite a lot. Now let's say we need a ward down. Now I'm just gonna use all this because, to be honest,
Emerald for insight.
dang it. That's the problem. Like, Irelia is someone who is really strong, so you'll see why, of course, we nowadays, or at least at this very moment, why we think it's so important to get armor. Because even though she only killed me once and she's getting a lot of farm like Triforce, she just is in general an incredibly strong champion, so I'm definitely gonna have to hopefully save my tower by teleporting, but I'm not sure I can even do that. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'll be able to save it, sadly. That's why I was trying to get out as much damage I could on their turret, but it might have been smarter if I backed off sooner or not even planned that ward. Because I wanted that ward, and that was a little cheeky on my part, I guess you'd say. Sadly enough.
Sapphire for divinity.
And let's see, she's the same level as us. And I think she went in, either backed off or she went inside this bush, because it didn't look like she continued on with her minions. And right now, my only like real attack spell would be, I guess you'd say, my
Gems hold their
well, I guess I do a lot of damage on my shatter, but that takes away my tankiness, so I'm not going to be too reliant on that in the end. And okay, so bot lane seems to have lost. Their Justana is really strong at the moment. So well, I said not to be like, okay, so let's see. Omeka is just to prevent turret damage, so we can tower dive more efficiently. Okay. I believe I said yep, she was missing. And I don't think I'll be able to do much anything there. Let me just teleport in. Just because I need to protect this turret.
clarity.
And I wonder if they plan. Okay, so she pretty much, if you guys see that, it's not that I'm super weak or anything, But, I mean, Aurelia is just someone who's
Emerald
really
for
strong, but
insight.
you guys saw that I wasn't, like, incredibly weak. Like, I was, like, 1v1ing the Tristana, who's actually kind of fed. So it's not like Taric is too bad at champion too, but when it comes between, like,
Face unblemished.
me and whoever, I guess Aurelia has the edge just because as soon as I use my shadow, I become much weaker.
Sapphire.
I don't think we have too much to worry about, but I'm gonna just, as a front line, I'm gonna stay in the front line of it all.
Brilliant.
I don't know who's in that bush, and let's just make sure. Okay. I wonder if we could go get Dragon. Seems like that's what our team wants to do, so I'll take it, I guess. When Yasuo comes in, I'm gonna have to get there and defend.
Shut down.
For divinity.
So as you guys saw, I did a decent amount of damage on the song because he survived.
From cold.
And Blitzcrank is a fast champion, but if we can get around that fact for a second, perhaps come at him from both ends.
Functional and stylish.
Like, okay, I don't know who's taking the turret. I guess Twitch is. So let's take this one out, I guess. Take out bot turret. Because they took out bot turret a while ago, I guess. Seems as it has been. So now I believe we got the dragon. Apparently that's, of course, our second dragon. So I believe we get bonus. No. There's our friend. Perfect. So let's see. I'm gonna say that we don't need that for now. That's gonna be in a bigger phase when it comes to like harder pushing. And well, I say Sunfire is good. I'm almost like rethinking that because if I can get this item, every damage that Aurelia does to me will be able to be kind of like put back onto herself. So I'll go over that like real quick. If you look here, upon being hit by a basic attack, I return 30% of incoming damage before I get my defense on it. So
An ally has
let's say I block like 50% of all incoming damage. That doesn't like lessen the amount of damage I'll do. So he's done, so that doesn't allow him to go ahead and
For insight.
get off his ult on me with his knockup. So let's see. At this point, we'll go ahead and defend. Get some damage done. I don't think we can worry too much. Just gonna get some damage on him with me, Malzo. I guess
Vigor.
we'll call it the pokes. Just gonna heal him. Lol. Healing them. Maybe I should heal Malzahar. Because his thing just died. That was jokingly. I healed his little minion. Who has his limited life span. Because I just thought it was funny that I could heal him in general. So let's see.
With clarity.
I'm going top lane. Hopefully, okay, no, they didn't need me to push. But hopefully I can get this guy, like, I do a decent amount of damage, I guess you'd say.
You shall be crushed.
I want to almost, like, get around
ally has been
him.
slain.
The thing is, like, now I lose armor, but something like the Rift Scuttle I don't really need to worry about in terms of, like, having armor.
Gems hold their
Has been destroyed.
But now I need to get bot. Let's see. They're there, so I definitely have to come in.
emerald for insight.
Yasuo is mid lane, so I don't have to worry too much about him. But I don't want to get too destroyed.
Opal for harmony.
And now I need to defend the mid lane.
An ally has been slain.
And our allies are being slain. I wanted to do something there.
Emerald
But
for
we can
insight.
definitely take out, I guess you'd say, the Aurelia. Just be careful. So he's probably gonna go around this way or the other way.
Opal for
It's kind of hard
harmony.
to predict, because he might wanted to try like to be really like smart about it and gone the other way, expecting we'd all go down the bottom half. Okay, so I ended up dying from that,
You have been
but now our
slain.
team should probably go on the Irelia. Hopefully they can go ahead and do that. Irelia doesn't. Yep, Irelia should be dead.
Been slain.
Now, my death was worth it. Like I've said beforehand, if I can die for my team, I will. And I was hoping I could get that kill on the Blitzcrank because I don't think Soraka needed it too much. But it's fine. Now next is get Sunfires, because now we'll do a constant stream of damage. And like I've said before, sometimes it's better to just get health
Sacrifice
in general.
for divinity.
Okay, so I used my teleport, which has a really long cooldown, but
Rude.
it was almost a little bit calculated. I knew he'd probably get away, but Dragon is almost here. Less than a minute. And to be honest, if we could get his slash down, that's one like less thing to worry about. So we're gonna go ahead and take this battle for ourselves, and we were able to survive that with our insane time crash, I guess you'd call it. Okay,
Double
drag
kill.
20 sec. So, in general, I say this was probably like a really good wager. Now, if Kha'Zix jumps in an attempt to steal the dragon from us, he won't be able to get out with his leap.
Opal.
Okay? And if he does, the only way he'd be able to get out with his leap if by chance he goes ahead and I almost wanted to pull me so I could go ahead and attack him. Well, sure, it may not be the most efficient way to go about it, but it beats walking, right? And I was able to teleport. I was hoping that would be enough. That man didn't really any damage to me, because like I said, he like doesn't do damage to me. But I have to be wary of his teammate, and he's actually doing damage to himself every time he attacks me with his basic attack. So like you see now, I may have been weak in the early game and I've died 3 times, but I'm making a comeback, I guess you could say. Like, Taric requires items to become quite tanky. He has natural abilities to make him more tanky than usual, but he still
Emerald
becomes
for
quite
insight.
tanky in the end. We have our Thor Dragon, carefully planned out to the point in my head. I mean, I didn't know we'd be able to get those kills, because I thought Kha'Zix would get away and I didn't know we'd enter that big team fight, but it works out better that way, I guess you could say. Okay, so we took him out, and now we're running after you, Blitzcrank. I'm coming for you. Like, I'm a pretty big monster, I guess. Aurelia is still very strong, so I don't want to one piece her. So of course that's going to be difficult to justify this, because we're probably going to die, and we're not going to get much out of that. That was a little extra greedy on our part, and I have to say, we almost got the Kha'Zix. Good job, Twitch. You made that all worth it.
An enemy has been slain.
Okay, so let's go back to this. Tristana, I said she was a little bit fed before, and she was, because she was 5-2, but now she's like nothing
Enemy
right now.
killing spree.
She's taken 3 deaths with no kills. Aurelia, like I said, is probably the one you have to worry about, which is why I'm kind of stacking armor upon armor. So, I'm trying to make, like, nullify the Aurelia. I'm going to be like the frontliner for our team. Like, Wukong can be a good frontliner in a lot of cases, just because even though he's a bruiser, his ability, his passive allows him, like, the more enemies that are around him, the more magic resistant armor he gets. I think it's called Sewn Skin. I don't know if they changed that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is still. So
Brilliant.
Wukong is able to build a bit more damage. Let me just heal him up. Leash him, I guess. I want to go after this thing again. Of course, it
Magic
doesn't do
has
me much
ruined this
help,
land.
because it takes me forever to do anything like this. When it comes to attacking, I can't do it. Sure, I have a decent amount of damage than I normally would, just because of the dragons. Those are giving more movement speed and everything.
Enemy has been slain.
And I want to go in on the Aurelia. Come on
Ruby
her from the
for
behind.
vigor.
And pierce that lonely armor. Of course, now I don't know why Yasuo did that. He's kind of trapped
Sapphire
himself
for
a
the
little bit. So I'm just gonna go full on rage engage. So let's see. Now, right now, going in on this will be a little bit of pain if we try too hard.
This unblemished power.
So no matter how far she goes, like, we have our team here right now, so we can pretty much make the Aurelia pay, depending on which direction she goes. What? What? That was painful. You guys didn't see what just happened there. I was just so minion blocked. Okay, so you guys saw that. They're all AD damage, so I could just survive for a good time, even with them all bashing on me. And with Sunfires, that turns a bit of my defense into an offense. Now at this point, we're gonna wanna get some turret dives down, so getting Wrecker will become somewhat more valuable to us. Because as this later game goes on, we're gonna wanna push. So this will be a good item pickup. Let's see. I didn't really do this, tell you much about this, but it deals magic damage and I radiate energy, giving myself attack damage and ability power, and give that half of what I get to my allies.
Ruby for
So
vigor.
it pretty much just takes me from being a tank and gives me some damage output, I guess you'd say.
Emerald for insight.
No. Dang it. No. I didn't do that. No one saw anything. None of you guys saw that massive
Opal for harmony.
veil. And I'm not butthurt about it. I'm just saying none of you guys saw that because it never happened, right? Now I'm gonna go ahead and I took that from them. Good enough. So now he's pretty much done for. And now that we have this, if I want to continue to chase, I can.
Sapphire for
But let's
divinity.
just see there's no wards here. That's good. And Twitch should be careful. He doesn't want to try 1v1ing the area. I don't care how strong that kid thinks he is. He's not ready for that. Oh, dragon's up. They might be trying to get the dragon. They already have one, so that does give them a little advantageousness. Oh, that might be the one dragon that they got. They probably were just leaving it when you saw the Aurelia. So as you guys saw, the little beginning of the Warrior is probably like a little cringe-worthy because I struggled a bit, but as you guys see now, this kind of thing is actually a thing.
Has been slain.
I wish, like, Tristana is effectively cancelled out by me. I can give this ult my ult. I'm just gonna, like, this thing is unable to change this turret. Like, it gives me such,
Vigor.
like, ability to tank that is almost ridiculous. Like, I came in, I helped whatever my allies get some damage off. He's gotten his health back from our Soraka, and I can help heal after this. Okay, I don't know what just happened there. I'm gonna walk out of this, take some damage just to make sure. Oh no, I thought I killed my teammate there. Okay, so that was a little bad. I don't know if that helped too much. I don't know. That was close, I guess, but I think we got ace, except for Twitch. I think Twitch back till he got killed earlier. And we only got 2 of their teammates, so we need to pick better team fights. It's pretty good for us though, because we still got the tower, and that will greatly help our ability to push. And once I get this, tower dives like that will become so much easier. You know what I mean? Like, we pretty much will weaken just by the ability of the tower. But Omeka, for 3 seconds, I'll be able to take out that tower's damage. And that 3 second will, although seemingly very small, will mean a lot to our team fight. Although Omeka is not, as I've seen, I don't see it often, it's not probably the most popular pick, but I'm gonna tell you right now that if you underestimate it, it's gonna end up being really bad for you, especially if the enemy team has it. So I probably didn't need to ult, but I wanted to ult for the style points, because I don't do a lot of damage, so I wasn't gonna delude myself saying, oh, maybe I could get that kill if I slammed my big juicy hammer on the ground, right?
Functional.
No, I wasn't thinking that too much at all. I mean, I wish, but I can't. And, you know, just, so in the end, my ult isn't that great. Because right now it gives 70 and then like 35, which can really sway a team fight. Because any bit of AP you get can sway a lot of fights. Now I have this. So now, if we pick fights at their turrets, I guess you could say, like, we go and, let's target that turret. If they go ahead and try to defend that, got wrecker. Let's dive. I know that's a little gutsy per se. Okay, he was stunned. I don't know how he did that. Okay, I got some loot. Okay, got it. Okay, I see what he was afraid of. We have Aurelia. So, right now, I guess I can get out because they can't really do enough to kill me, I guess. And that was a pretty bad team fight. We went ahead and got somebody, I think. But I guess there's the phrase that I like to call, I don't really call it that. I mean, I call it that, but I didn't name it at all, so I'm just going to use the fragile time. I don't know why I said that. I guess more style points, right? Let's go get, what's it called? The Iron Locket, the Locket of the Iron Solali. Okay, we don't need to go like really any magic as this, because if you look here, AD, that he's going a little bit AP, I guess, because he might just be going these items because he needs mana, and the more mana he has, the more like tankish he can become when his passive unlocks. So I don't know if you guys have seen or paid attention, but when Bliskin gets to a certain amount of health and he gets his mana, he gets his shield, it is pretty amazing. Okay, they got it. They have taken it. So I'm gonna go try to farm. Aurelia is kind of like my opposite. I haven't focused too much on farming, while she has, I guess you could say. Farming was not really my focus. In the early game, sure, that's kind of what I did just because I didn't have anything else to do. I couldn't really fight. But in the early game, she was focusing on poking me and getting damage down on me. So you guys see, like, we're kind of like a buffer to each other. Now she's doing an insane amount of damage. She's going like pure damage Okay, not really pure damage. She got that because she gets self-healing from whatever it's called. Okay, so they stole that from us. Those dirty scoundrels. So he knows I'm there.
Brilliant.
So going after him isn't gonna be the best thing in the world. But look at that. I'm just gonna stand here and let the minions kill themselves on me, or at least do some damage. Look at that. So that's kind of what they do to me. And imagine this on a much larger scale. That didn't look like a lot of damage, right? But these guys, who are going like full AD, their auto attacks are doing much more. Okay, like you see this?
An enemy has been slain.
Like I could really like 1v1 Yasuo. Like that's how strong I am. Like look at Yasuo. He's like weak because he didn't like get the best early game because of course all know that my teammate Malzahar had a good early game, but I'm going full damage and I'm able to fight the Yasuo. Like that is something that's like, can you comprehend this, like how amazing that is for me?
Opal for harmony.
Okay, so it seems like our team got 3 kills, nothing in return, and that could have been partially for me like stalling the Yasuo. I'm not gonna really say I did a lot, but if because Yasuo wasn't in that team fight, like he does a lot of things. He can do like a full team knockup, and that knockup alone does a lot for their team. Like Wukong and me are pretty much, he's going bruiser, which means he's mixing his attack
You face
and
unblemished
whatever.
power.
She's getting attack damage and whatever. I have to think he's getting attack damage and armor and tank stats and such. Okay, so Yasuo's here. He gave himself away with that tornado. But I'm guessing Tristana is gonna come if I don't back off. Which I don't think I totally mind at this point. Like, I really may be strong, but we have Twitch, Malzahar, like that's the kind of thing I've told you before, and I alliterated like having like whatever. Okay, so right now I have the aura to give me extra attack damage. And okay, now let's go ahead. Okay, let's see. I forget what I was gonna say. Oh yeah. Right now our teammates have this whole like macho like thing right now where they have like this one person who's insanely fed, okay? But we have a teammate who's just as fed, but we have it spread across our team. So when Aurelia dies, she takes all their damage and team fight potential with it. But let's say the Yasuo dies, or the Trick dies, or I die. We still have like, and like, let's say not all of us together, but like one of us or 2 of us, like we still have like potential for that team fight. And Blitzcrank had the great idea. His build was a little bit different, but I think that like Mana Shield is like something that's unsuspected, like, and having so much of it is really strong. So I want to say good job to both our teams. That was a close fight, in my opinion. There were times where I was a little uncertain about who was going to win, but I think we came out on top of the builder because in general we had a better team comp and such. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned a lot from the video, and if so, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.